Very, very good, very. So I'm just going to do this piece and I'm going to get out y'all way. This piece attempts to make sense of social injustice, prejudice, and discrimination from a biblical perspective. And it's entitled, Let Freedom Ring. As I begin this piece, allow me to start with a disclaimer. I will not address this issue solely through the lenses of my cultural paradigm, one that more times than often tends to address social issues as if white and black are the only two races that exist. As if African Americans are the only people in history who have experienced oppression, and as if racism, prejudice, discrimination are the problems and not just symptoms of the disease. Brothers and sisters, I am obliged to be the prescribed prick in my people's pointer by passionately presenting my premise, and my premise is this. You see, I've noticed that when it comes to matters of social injustice, we so narrow-mindedly focus on skin color that our thoughts, words, and actions in response to the situations are more dangerously emotive than biblically directed, resulting with pastors preaching political propaganda from the pulpit instead of presenting present problems from the perspective of scriptural precepts, producing Protestants who, by product of the poisonous preaching, pompously pride at the preeminence of God, as if he owes the skeptic an audience. Beloved, what we haven't realized is that when we choose to depend on ourselves alone to fix matters such as racism, prejudice, discrimination, and police brutality, we are giving headache medicine to someone who has the flu, curing the symptom and not the sickness. And if we as Christians are to approach this issue, let us approach it biblically by understanding that the symptom is social injustice, but the sickness is sin. So if it is sin that is the sickness, then we as Christians need to understand that the true enemy is the ventriloquist, not the dummy. That true slavery is not slavery to the system, but slavery to sin. And that we may discriminate against one another, but sin and Satan have no prejudice. And he will use everything from the ignorant racists to the overly zealous ethnocentric Christian to cause confusion and strife among the people of God. So in times like these, it is imperative that we understand that the solution isn't sanction, it's salvation. That we can impose laws and acts upon a man's morality, but only God can establish his kingdom upon a man's heart. That we can tell a man that he is free, but only God can break the chains. That if it is sin that is the problem, then it is the gospel that we must proclaim, because you can be free from social injustice and in your heart still be enslaved, because it's beautiful to be black, but it's miraculous to be saved. You can be free from social injustice, and in your heart still be enslaved, because it's beautiful to be black, but it's miraculous to be saved. The root of social injustice says, there's enmity between you and I because I believe that my ways are better than yours. And at the heart of sin, there's enmity between us and God because we believe that our ways are better than his. And I am simply astonished at how passionately we attack sin when it is us who are receiving it. I'm amazed at how quickly we withhold grace from those who need it, when we receive much grace and we don't deserve it. Brothers and sisters, this isn't a rebuke but a plea. That we fight the true problem with the true answer. That we fight sin with salvation. And that we be confident that our present sufferings pale in comparison to the glory that will be revealed in all who have called upon Christ to arrest their hearts and free them from sin of any and all kinds. So, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, so that you may be able to stand in the evil day. And having done all to stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. Let freedom ring. Thank you.